Must have been 15 half-empty Diet Coke cans. Very thirsty.
He likes it fresh
and forgetful.
Brush the lot of
They'll be
them.
as and they'll be naked 90
not clothed. Charles is letting off fireworks in the house and showing us teaching him how to drive on pedestrian places.
Yeah, we're coming back down now.
Ready, go. Go for it.
You know, today I just realized how crazy he was anyway, so it's just
I think when you just meet Shona, you're like, oh yeah, it's definitely Shona. And then you meet Charles by himself, and you're like, no, it's definitely not Charles.
Yeah, her saying I'll find out.
Shona just gets you in trouble.
Yeah.
She gets you killed for sure.
Yeah, actually, you probably end up in jail with Shona alongside you. Whereas Charles might get you in jail, but he'd break you out of jail too.
They wouldn't get you killed, yeah. Lucky punch.
Which?
Charles loves a good donkey punch.
So,
Like us to expand on that.
please.
guessing I woke up on the kitchen counter.
Just you behind the car and I was lost on the other side of the street and I didn't know what to do. And that was my first introduction to drinking in Ireland, was basically Shona face down in the gutter.
I suppose
Welcoming people.
They're all welcome by you.
Nervous.
Here. Put on here. Here's his bag.
There's some angle going on here. They're very unusual.
Yeah, I don't know, should I wear my jock?
Oh, just sit. She is.
Okay.
Cut this out, Charles.
Shit.
Cut this.
Thanks, Mike.
We're cutting this.
Describe Shona in these words, so you have to choose one. 1, cheeky. 2, caring. 3, a role model.
I'm just gonna go for secret option number 4 and say bold, and she'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Describe Shona in 3 words.
Mad bitch.
Drinker. So they're compatible.
I
They
like
go
that.
as one actually.
Yeah, because the brewery and
Yeah,
the
it all works together. One cannot be
Synergy.
alone.
Synergy.
Yeah, there's not. She's not a mad bitch drinker. It's all one
Yeah, it's a complete package.
I'm pretty sure
holy-
anyone
the
watching
Holy
this will get
Trinity.
her. Yeah.
of Shona.
Bold.
Busty.
Phrase. Bust.
How would you describe Shona?
Cheeky.
Sorry.
She never got
She never got in trouble.
She never got in trouble.
Shona was like the luckiest person you'll
Teflon.
ever meet.
Fucking
If
Teflon.
we did anything that she would have done, we would have been probably arrested. She would get away with
Do you remember
absolute
herself and Charles? Do you
murder.
remember herself and Charles figured out how to donkey kick the doors in Drumroll?
So that, so that
Like-
you could so that you could break the locks and get into people's bedrooms.
So that if there was
Yeah.
somebody who'd left and there was an empty room, they could donkey kick the door and we could use the room. I moved in for a while because I was in these rooms because the lads would just donkey kick the door open.
Yeah.
Classy.
Definitely could compete with the lads in terms of the
Drinking.
drinking, the drinking, and there was very little competition when it came to dares and who could do the most outrageous thing on a night out. So Shona was always well up there, no question. Yeah.
3 words to describe Shona. I would say fun. Or maybe not. Fun, yeah. I'd say sensible. Kind. Dainty. Definitely dainty.
That's 4 words, but we'll take it. Describe Charles in 3 words.
Ooh, is 3 words enough?
Nerd.
Challenge seeker. That's just 1 word though.
Challenge seeker. What does that even mean?
He loves the challenge.
Projects.
Projects, yeah, definitely.
Talk to a lot about projects.
Lots of projects.
Clever. Just clever. Just clever. Kind. And magic. I don't know, that's a word.
Ooh,
Magic.
we've never been described as magic before.
Yeah.
No.
By
Just
most,
you're magical.
by most of my girlfriends.
As in associated with your magic tricks.
If you don't.
Tall, goofy.
Creative.
And why?
Why?
She's tall.
He's tall. Because the first story I ever heard about Charles was he built a giant chest for Shona. And I was like, who does that? And he must be very talented and creative.
I don't think he's ever said a serious word to me in his life.
Yeah.
And the same question for
Hilarious. Slightly obsessive about things. And has got a deep appreciation. Actually, do you know what? And he's a con as well. They've told me so many times about the amount of things that they've conned. Yeah, so he's hilarious, a con, and what was the other thing I said?
Knackers.
Travelers.
Yeah.
Travelers. Itinerants. That's the
Itinerants.
word. That's the official word. Yeah.
Okay.
Facts. As in FACTS.
Facts, Cavan.
Cavan, very important.
Whiskey.
Brewer. Facts, Cavan Brewer.
Yeah. That was decent.
Okay, alright. Tell us one funny story about Shona.
Oh my god, where do I even start? Okay, one of my enduring memories of Shona is we were walking toward to get the bus home from school, and she lost her flower earring, and she shouted out very audibly in front of everyone else that she'd lost her flower. And we all burst out laughing, and everyone heard, including all the 6th-years. So yeah, but that was just one of many, really.
Had she lost her flower?
Almost certainly at that point, yeah.
Go, girl, Shona.
Well, it must have been in UL when she was sitting in the front row of the class, taking notes furiously, and total swat, total swat. And she always used to be the person I used to be so jealous of because she used to get her A1s all in a row. Yeah.
Bold and
Yeah.
One thing that stands out to me, I think, actually was funny. We worked together in a restaurant in Mio before.
Oh yeah.
And I was working with the guy Shona and a guy called Dali, and Shona was trying to get me drunk while I was working. So, but I was also like 15 or something, and she was like, "Oh fuck it, it's grand, go on, have a drink," and I was like, "No, like I'm waitressing, like that's not really no." And then she was like, "Here, do you want a drink?" But she knew then that she couldn't offer the drink to me. She had to get Dali, the barman, to offer me the drink. So he was like, "What do you want? Do you want a juice or something?" And I said, "Oh yeah, go on, sure, I'll have an apple juice." And she'd obviously said to him, like, "Go on, fuck a double vodka in there." So he poured the drink for me, and I tried to like spat it out everywhere. And that was. And her younger sister said, "Looking at trying to get me smashed." Yeah, in work. Great night.
So taking care.
Yeah.
And being bold.
Yeah, being bold. Yeah.
Yeah.
How appropriate does this need to be?
Okay.
Fine. Okay.
It can be edited.
The first time Shona took me out in Clon, it was a quick one, but we went out drinking. And I can't remember who she was. Maybe it was with Kate. And they ended up puking behind the car, and I was lost on the other side of the street, and I didn't know what to do. And that was my first introduction to drinking in Ireland. Was basically Shona face down in the gutter.
As most
welcoming people. So you've nailed one of the questions. Okay.
Funny story I have shown now was probably the Canada Sevens game, where we decided to fill up our bras with booze before we got in. So we, like classy ladies, got bottles of whiskey and bottles of vodka, put them in sandwich bags, put them down our bra, and
Yeah, went into the sevens, except Shona got stopped going into the sevens, and the bouncer asked her to open her jacket, and she threw a little hissy fit. And it's like, no, you're not opening mine, pervert, or something like that. And he, out of embarrassment, just let her in. So yeah, that's how Shona got 2 sandwich bags full of vodka into the sevens. Classy lady.
John was on a second date, and Shona decided it would be appropriate.
This is a really bad story. There's so many stories.
John was a Lothario, and he was seeing this girl, and anytime he was seeing anyone, it was always very serious.
Yeah.
Immediately he was in love, and he was seeing this one. It was really important that it went well. So Shona decided it'd be appropriate if we all just hopped in the car and dropped condoms over midway through the date. So
yes. But also, Shona went to the door and said, "Hi, John called me and asked me to drop these over for you."
So now he's a weirdo.
Which he hadn't. And the girl was mortified. And she said, "Okay, bye." And then gets back into the car and drives off. And of course, he got an earful. There's just so many stories you couldn't even.
They're
begin.
only together because they're as mad as each other.
Yeah.
The vision of her trying to find the toilet in Vegas where she'd imagine sick after breakfast. Remember, she'd leg it out of the car.
And there was an exit right beside her. And she decided to take the long way. Like pushing chairs out of her way, like
machines in her way. She's just trying to go.
You can see this vomit still in her mouth. And we're all just sitting there laughing. That was the best. But she still came back and did she finish her breakfast?
I don't think she did actually.
It's the first.
Yeah.
She didn't finish her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
So Shona had her little car, and she decided.
Starlet.
So there was a bridge across from Drumroe where we were living over to Thomond Village, and it had 2 lanes, one going in the way, one going out the way, and then there was a separate like a foot passenger kind of section, so just for pedestrians, and it was like cordoned off, so it had metal barriers over the river, and it was just like, it was the width of a car. It was just for people walking and cycling. And Shona decided that one night it would be a great idea, and there was nobody around, to get the car into the pedestrian lane.
There was so much drink driving in college. Like,
no, I don't think she wasn't drunk. She was just mad. She was just mad. So she thought, will I do it? Go on. And she thought it was hilarious. So she drove the car into the pedestrian lane and drove the whole way. Now, the width of it was just the width of the car, so she was like going really slowly the whole time, laughing like, I'll get through. But she didn't. We came across a woman with a dog, so then we were stuck, and I'm in the back like, oh jeez, what are we doing here? And she was just laughing.
What was the woman doing?
Laughing.
Walking her dog on the pedestrian
She was just walking.
She just shimmied past the car. Then
She had every right to be there.
Come on, Bowser.
He certainly didn't.
That was all. I think the abiding memory of college is Charles going, "Oh my god," and Shona roaring, laughing. That was just their relationship.
So they're best suited.
They were
so well met. So well met.
They mightn't have known it then in those early days, but I think we
We
were
knew
all
it then.
just a group of friends, and they were so perfect for each other, and it's just lovely.
Will they drive each other mad and kill each other?
Well,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell me a funny story about Charles.
Do you want to go?
Definitely when we were sitting
He's not funny, is he?
in the Indian. We were having like nice dinner after a bit of a drunken day in the Indian, and Charles starts whipping out like literally one after the other after the other after the other face cloths. Actually, I could go grab some right now and show you because I've got like 6 of them. So yeah, like 15 face cloths down his pants for the challenge.
I think he said he started with 1 and then he was like, I wonder how many I can fit in here. And he
But
just
the
kept
funniest
going
part
and
is
he had about
that-
40 of them, did you?
Yeah, but the funniest part is that was in Timber. So we went through the whole day in Timber, or the whole like evening in Timber, and then at the Indian when it was just the 4 of us. So he was walking around that whole time with his pants full of face cloths, and we didn't notice. Which is, I don't know what that says about any of us. Legless.
Time I met him was today, really, to be honest.
Did you hear anything though about him?
Little something,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, as she said about a crazy boy.
Crazy boy, yeah.
Yeah, and and then you know today I just realized how crazy he was. Anyway, so it's just amazing to see, you know, these guys getting together. Yeah, I think they match really
Very well
well
matched.
together. You know, that's the main thing about getting married. I think so.
They work well.
Yeah.
Yes, they work really well.
That sucked.
I actually have a really good first memory, Charles. So I was at a house party in UL.
No
and-
offense. But
No offense to your
No,
terrible
Paul, you were
answers.
really good. You were really good. But I walked out. So I was at a house party. It was my first time meeting him, and I walked behind a car, and Charles took a lighter with some hairspray and sprayed it, and nearly lit my whole head on fire.
He does like
good
fire.
man, Charles.
Yeah,
Good man, Charles.
yeah.
There was a story about fireworks being let off in apartment
Nothing
blocks.
to do with that.
I'd say most of these stories mention fire.
Yeah, no, I wasn't there. I wasn't there. That was no,
Oh
I
my
wasn't
god,
there.
we set off the fire alarm and I ran out of.
Yes, expand.
No.
There's been worse said.
No.
This is probably his saving grace.
We definitely set off the fire alarm in their apartment, and I was sleeping there. I had nowhere to go, and I ran out of the house, and everyone had to be evacuated from the whole place. I don't think we actually started it, but we were quite paranoid that we had done it.
A funny story about Charles, I think not one story, but like multiple efforts of Charles trying to get into somewhere he shouldn't be, whether it's trying to get into a car or a locked shed
With wood for camping.
with wood, yes. And then when he couldn't get in there, he decided to get into a window that small, and he still couldn't get in. What else?
Me and Charlie were playing a game of football, okay? And we were having so much crack right at the front of the house and just kicking the ball about, which you never ever do. And Charles, let's just say he's not a very good footballer. So I kicked the ball to him and he underkicked it, meaning he hit the lower part of the ball and went up in the air. So it hit the tree. But when it hit the tree, it stuck in the tree. So my dad has this, like a little bit of his heart in this tree, which is the funny thing about it. So me and Charles thought it'd be a good idea to hang off one of the branches, right? So Charles, which is funny because he's 6'4", he actually leapt like 7 foot in the air and hung onto it like a fucking monkey and swung. And he was swinging and he was swinging. Eventually broke the branch off. There's only 3 branches, by the way. Broke it off, right? Big strong branch. Ball fell down. Everyone was happy. We're thinking that Frank the Tank is going to kick the absolute shit of us if we leave this branch hanging. So we wrapped a big rope around it and it came back up, right? So it was sitting there anyway. Funny thing was, we left it there and we're thinking nothing's going to hang of it. Like, so anyway, then a year or 2 later, Dad then, there's a big storm and Dad goes, Jesus, that storm was so strong, it fucking took the branch off. 3 branches. 3 branches, right? It took one of them off. And the funny thing was, there was a rope hanging around the branch. And Frank came in and goes, that storm was so strong, it took the branch off. We were like, yeah, Dad, yeah. That's the strong fucking wind.
Shocking storm, was it?
Oh, that was one of the funniest things I've ever
Did he
seen.
find out in the end?
No, we told him about it, but the funniest thing was he was hanging like a fucking monkey, swinging like his legs over and back while hanging on it. And eventually when it broke, he landed on his legs with a branch in his hand. That was possibly the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh Christ.
Oh, that was so funny.
The first memory I have of Charles now is we were all playing whatever the game is we were playing with
My family.
with her family, and you had to pick a word and describe it, and Charles chose donkey punch. So we had to,
Shona had to describe it.
yeah, you had to describe it with your arms in your head or whatever you do. So we were all like, oh, donkey punch, we were all thinking of a gorilla with a banana or something. And then after the game, he explained what it was.
Because nobody knew.
Nobody knew, and most of us were laughing. But
I actually kind of can't remember.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember his aunt. Which one?
Enda.
Enda, I think.
Oh yeah.
She got so
Lost her
angry.
shit. She was
She lost
disgusted,
her shit about him saying something that's
Is that offensive?
horrible
Yeah.
to women. Like, yeah, the rest of us thought it was really funny.
This was a family.
Oh, family,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was in it was in our old house in Norwest. Yeah. I can't remember the game, but it's the one where you all have to put in
it's
five
like
random words into a bowl, and then you all have to take turns to describe. Yeah, fishbowl. Yeah, and one of them, Charles picked it on.
Christ, he's a common one for that. He's done that a couple of times.
Yeah.
He puts in the donkey punch or any kind of sexual thing, and then it's like you have to explain it in front of people, and you're like, oh, anyway, moving on. That's my own memory.
Story, and Charles and Sean had just bought a barbecue for $400, I think, and
Sorry.
And you weren't allowed more than $200 or something for the tax to go back into the customs to Canada. So they had the barbecue in the back, and me and Mum were panned up against the window, and we're literally squashed against the window, and the guard asked if they had anything over over 400 or over $200, and they said no and got away with it, and we went on through.
Night was Christmas last year.
Yeah.
Yes, their worst night.
2006. What year were we in?
2017.
Christmas 2017.
Oh, it was Shona and Charles' first Christmas in Vancouver and together, and they'd just gotten engaged, so they were very excited.
So no, that's when they told everyone, wasn't it? Christmas
Yeah.
Day. So that's when they revealed, they had been engaged.
There was a whole Christmas cracker thing with a ring.
Did you just make a vomit noise?
No, it was more like
stirring the pot.
Amazing. Charles got so excited that he brought loads of rum that he had brewed.
But it wasn't just any other rum, it was like 85% alcohol.
Paint stripper.
Yeah.
And he just brought it so we could taste what it's like before it becomes normal rum. But instead, he just drank most of it himself.
So he poured me this like regular size cup, and I was like, "Jeez, I can't drink that." And then he was like, he put it like a dash of Coke into it, and I went to like sip it, and I was like, no, I put it down. And then next thing I turned around, and Charles was just like chugging it. And then, it was very sweet actually, because he wanted to make a little speech, because he was very happy with how Christmas had went, and he was trying to make the speech, and then there was this like, there was loads of us sitting at a table, and he was making the speech, and then he just like fell over. Basically threw himself into a very large widescreen television. And then he was like claiming that he wasn't even drinking. And we were like, oh jeez.
And he kept on asking for Coke for the rest of the night. Like,
Oh, the
Diet Coke. Diet Coke.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, that's better than.
Oh, so we're glancing over his drug habit.
But then there must have been 15 half empty Diet Coke cans. He was very thirsty.
He likes it fresh.
And forgetful.
The most random story between Charles and Shona is the first time I met them, which was when Charles didn't actually know he was in love with Shona, which is the most fantastic part of the story. I met Shona, and she was wearing a French maid's outfit, absolutely banana hammocked, and it was probably the funniest thing I've seen. So she went into a room, and so the best thing was about it that Charles, like he was my role model at the time, went in right behind her. Like I was thinking, oh fucking hell, what do I follow? Do I stay? What do I do? But anyway, there's 15 of us in there at the end of the day, so it's fine. So we all went in, and Charles decided to just pick her up because she was so absolutely banana hammered. Oh my god!
Keep going.
I've lost it.
I can edit it.
But the funny thing was about it though, that in that moment that he actually didn't know that he was very in love with the girl.
Oh.
You see? And he fucked the shit out of her. Who's the cooler partner?
Ooh.
I
Shona.
have.
Are we gonna say Charles?
Well, I have to say Shona because she's my cousin.
Yeah.
I have to say Shona.
I was gonna say Shona. Anyway.
Alright, Lara's is cooler.
Neither, for sure. No, just
I'd say Charles because he's a lad, and I like hanging out with lads more than I like hanging out with girls.
I say
That's
Shona.
bad. That's a bad reason.
That's awful. I say Shona because. Wait, what was the question?
Who's the cooler partner?
The
And
cooler
why?
partner. And why? I would say. Oh, that's tough.
You can say Charles.
I think Shona because you can kind of make her do things when you're on a night out with her. Like when we were at Sinead's hen party, I was like, Shauna's really good at push-ups. I was like, go on, do some. And next thing, she was just on the floor doing this push-up challenge, and it was great. It's so entertaining. So.
Charles is cooler because he picks locks.
Oh, that's a good
and
point.
he helps me steal stuff. Like when we were in Tofino, we tried to steal all the wood. He's always up for an old bit of thievery with me, which is good. I need that.
That is pretty
Shona
good.
doesn't do that with me.
Shauna's very good at stealing her own stuff too.
No, but like we were like fucking properly doing it. Like
They're both very cool.
You know what? That's a weird.
Oh, wow. I think when you just meet Shona, you're like, oh yeah, it's definitely Shona. And then you meet Charles by himself, and you're like, no, it's definitely not Charles. Yes. So, then when you put the both of them together, I think definitely Charles. But by themselves, I'd Shona.
That's a very interesting. That's a very interesting answer.
Shona is mad for kids. Do you think this scares Charles?
Scares.
Well, I think if Shona doesn't scare Charles, nothing else will. To be honest.
Very
well done, Kate.
Thanks.
Well,
Scared shitless.
Oh,
Very
totally.
frightened.
But then again, there's a lot of facts that go along with kids. And I think
Charles
that-
can
What do you
read
think
up
he would
enough.
struggle with? What do you think he would struggle with as a
Childbirth,
father?
definitely. He won't be in the room.
Would he look down?
No.
Would he see what's going on?
No way.
Or would he faint?
No way.
He fainted one time with blood.
Yeah.
There's no way he'd be in that room.
No, he
No
could
way.
maybe
Would he do
blindfold.
like an Irish father? You
Yeah.
just sit in the waiting room and just kind of like.
It's one of these things
Yeah,
I've
let's see
never
what
talked to him
happens.
about.
I'll talk to you.
He'll want a boy, definitely.
Yeah.
Straight away.
Hmm.
Oh gosh.
Shona's mad for
They'll be
kids.
as mad as a brush, the lot of
They'll
them.
be as and they'll be naked 98%.
Not clothed. Charles is letting off fireworks in the house, and Shona's teaching them how to drive on pedestrian places. Is that the story?
That's
Family
basically
story.
it, yeah. They shouldn't
Brilliant.
procreate, but if they do, it'll be glorious.
To save Earth, don't procreate. There we go. I think that's.
Yeah, I feel like the child's totally gonna come after like Shona or Charles, like, you know, like front row student at every lecture, exemplary student. I feel like they shouldn't call their child Megan. I know they want to call their first child Megan. I feel like that's really mean. I wouldn't do that. I don't know. Does anybody know Megan? Is there any Megan in
Who's
the family?
Megan?
Take that out just
Who's
in case
Megan?
there's
Who's
a
Megan?
I don't know. They're always like, oh, I want to call our first child Megan. I was like, if you call it Megan, I'm going to be like, Meggy Megan. Like, you know, Eggy Megan. Eggy Megan. Anyway, don't call your first child Megan.
Terrible name.
Yeah,
Everyone called
horrendous.
Megan at the wedding. Terrible.
But I feel like they'll have lovely children. Really nice children. Yeah.
Talk of kids will come along or something like that. How do you think they'll work as parents? I know. Already a critic. Already a critic.
Well, if Charles if Shona's something to go by with this little girl, then she's gonna be wanting them, I'd say, next week
Tomorrow,
when she
yeah.
goes back home or back to Canada. But I'd say Shona would be. I'd say they'd be both good crack with them, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
I'd say they'd be both kind of fun and
Yeah.
I'd say they'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say it'll be soon enough.
We have already a pool running, so
Yeah.
if you want to-
Oh, you have? We've made some bets. Okay. Let's get on that stuff.
I
Martin
want
says
in on-
9 months from the night of the wedding. Oh yeah?
I'm on June 2020.
June 2020.
Ooh.
No,
Whenever
2020.
they come home?
Yeah, 2020, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
One of these bets coming out. One of the
Yeah,
works,
can I we get some?
which one?
We get a slice.
So,
Do you want to get in the action?
yeah, 100%. Yeah, I will go.
That she'll come home with a ton of them from somewhere else or someone else. I don't know.
She steals other people's kids.
They're not really hers.
Yeah, I don't know. That there'll be a bunch of mini Shonas running around.
Oh God.
Jeez, that's fucking scary. Right.
Depends. Do I need someone that's going to heavy lift me out of something? Yes. Or do I need someone that's going to pick a lock to get me out of something?
It's you interpret the situation. So maybe explain the situation
I
that you're
feel
in.
like if I'd be down a dark alley and I was in danger, I definitely need my butch bitch to come down and get me. Yeah.
Charles,
And why?
because you can pick locks, you carry around a bag full of random stuff at all times.
Tools.
Like you could literally just be like, oh, I really need something, and he'd be like, I have it in my pocket.
Or like
So-
when we were camping, you have like a multimeter, like the car's
yeah,
dead. He's like,
yeah,
"That's
car's
battery,
dead.
it's
That's
not
fine.
dead."
I'll find out.
Shona just
Next
gets you in
thing,
trouble.
Yeah.
She gets you killed for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, actually, you would probably end up in jail with Shona alongside you, whereas Charles might get you in jail, but he'll break you out of jail too.
And he wouldn't get you killed, yeah, no, Shona would.
You sound like that.
What is the best thing about Charles and Shona?
Sunday sessions.
Sunday sessions, that's a good one, yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
used to do Sunday sessions.
Yeah.
You always have a good time, always a good laugh.
Food.
Never something too serious.
Food is always great.
Good booze. Good bit of boozing. Good bit of food.
Boozing,
Good bit
good
of crack.
chats. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good crack, yeah.
Always a good time.
Cool.
The hands down, the best. She's the only one, bless her, the only one that laughs at all of Charles' jokes. And God bless her soul for doing it. At the start when I first met them, I always thought it was like a pity laugh, like, oh, they're getting to know him, I better laugh because no one else is. But no, 5 years on, she still laughs at jokes we know she's heard for the 20th time. Still laughs at them. And Charles still tells them, knowing we've all heard them 20 million times. Definitely.
Oh, they're just made for each other. No one else would have them.
That's it.
They're just
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah. And that's the best thing about them. And obviously they're like great people and stuff. Most of the time.
Sorry,
And obviously
the
Cut
jokes,
out the
the
laugh.
jokes are awesome
And
here.
obviously they're funny.
The jokes are good.
No, there are absolutely most wonderful friends in Vancouver, and whether we wanted to be friends with them or not, they'd made us be friends with them. So, you know.
Or murder.